For thousands of years, one story has echoed through history. A story of courage so extreme that it became legend. A story of 300 warriors who stood against the largest army the world had ever seen. This was not just a battle, it was a stand for freedom. A stand that would shape the future of Western civilization. In the year 480 BC, the mighty Persian Empire marched toward Greece. At its head was the most powerful king on earth, Xerxes I. His army was so vast that ancient historians claimed it darkened the land like a moving shadow. Cities fell before it, kingdoms surrendered without a fight. But one small force refused to kneel. At the narrow mountain pass of Thermopylae, a Spartan king named Leonidas I prepared to make a stand, with just 300 Spartans against an empire. This is the story of the most legendary last stand in human history. Long before the Spartans marched to Thermopylae, a massive empire had already risen in the east. The Achaemenid Empire was the greatest superpower of the ancient world. It stretched across 3 continents, from India to Egypt to the shores of the Mediterranean. Millions of people lived under Persian rule. Its armies were unstoppable. But Persia had unfinished business with Greece. Years earlier, Persian king Darius I had attempted to conquer the Greek city-states, but his invasion ended in humiliation at the Battle of Marathon. Greek soldiers defeated the Persians against impossible odds. The empire never forgot that defeat, and when Darius died, his son Xerxes vowed revenge. In 480 BC, Xerxes began assembling the largest invasion force the world had ever seen. Ancient sources claim the army numbered over 1 million soldiers. Modern historians estimate around 200,000 to 300,000 troops, still massive by ancient standards. Soldiers from dozens of nations marched under Persian banners: Medes, Persians, Egyptians, Babylonians, Phoenicians, and many more. Xerxes even built a bridge across the Hellespont so his army could march from Asia into Europe. The invasion had begun. The Greek city-states were terrified. Many surrendered. Others argued endlessly. But one city had a different answer: Sparta. Sparta was unlike any other Greek city. Its entire society revolved around war. Spartan boys began military training at age 7. They endured brutal discipline, hunger, pain, hardship. Everything was designed to create the ultimate soldiers. By adulthood, Spartan warriors were considered the most feared fighters in Greece. Their formation, the phalanx, was nearly unstoppable. Each soldier carried a massive shield, a long spear, a short sword, and above all, unbreakable discipline. When Greece called for help against Persia, Sparta answered. Their king would lead the defense. His name was Leonidas. The Greeks knew they could not defeat the Persians in open battle. The Persian army was simply too large. So they chose their battlefield carefully. A narrow mountain pass called Thermopylae. The name meant the hot gates. On one side stood steep cliffs, on the other, the sea. Only a small number of soldiers could fight there at once. This meant the Persian army's numbers would mean little. Leonidas marched north with 300 Spartan warriors. They were joined by around 7,000 Greek allies. Together they would hold the pass, or die trying. When Xerxes finally arrived at Thermopylae, he could hardly believe what he saw. a tiny Greek force waiting calmly in the pass. The Persian king expected them to surrender immediately. Instead, the Spartans stood silently behind their shields. According to legend, Xerxes sent a messenger demanding they lay down their weapons. Leonidas gave a simple reply: "Come and take them." The battle was about to begin. Wave after wave of Persian soldiers charged the pass, but the narrow terrain worked perfectly for the Greeks. Spartan shields locked together, spears stabbed forward in deadly rhythm. Persian soldiers fell by the thousands. Even the elite immortals, Persia's best warriors, failed to break the line. For 2 full days the Greeks held. The Persian army, the largest force on earth, could not advance. Xerxes watched in disbelief. But the Spartans had one weakness: a secret path through the mountains. A Greek traitor named Ephialtes of Trachis approached the Persian king. He revealed the hidden mountain path behind the Greek position. During the night, Persian troops marched through the mountains. By dawn, the Greeks were surrounded. Leonidas knew the end had come. Leonidas dismissed most of the Greek army, but the Spartans refused to leave. Alongside a few hundred Thespians and Thebans, they stayed. The final battle began. Spears shattered, swords broke. The Spartans fought with bare hands if they had to. King Leonidas himself fell in combat. But the Spartans continued fighting over his body. One by one, they were killed. All 300 Spartans died that day. But their sacrifice was not in vain. Their stand united the Greek world. 1 year later, the Greeks defeated Persia at the Battle of Plataea. The invasion ended, and the legend of the 300 Spartans was born. More than 2,000 years later. The story of Thermopylae still inspires the world. It reminds us that courage is not measured by numbers. Sometimes a few brave warriors can change history forever.